Tell me something about the newest how to say the status at this moment about neuromarketing.
Neuromarketing, we were the first neuromarketing consultancy in Western Europe.
Yes.
I think first outside the States, maybe the first in the world, in fact. Mm-hmm. We've been operating for 10 years. Mm-hmm. The growth over the last 2 years has been pretty much exponential. There's a huge increase in neuromarketing. Because, and I've just been explaining this, we allow marketers, product developers, to ask questions that will be almost impossible to ask or for people to actually reply to adequately just by a normal questionnaire focus group type study. Because we can actually get behind the verbal report, we look directly at the brain. And I think this is important because that means that we can tap into subconscious processes as well as conscious processes. Which I think is really important.
And how far are we? Because I read a lot about this as a journalist specialized in marketing. But how far are we really that we can applicate it for the marketing industry at this moment? Because I'm not so sure we are far enough. That's my question.
The answer to this, I think, doesn't really. You need to look outside of marketing. This is what I was saying in my talk yesterday in the marketing show.
Yes.
The answer to this is to look at what psychologists are doing to understand brain function and what they're using as methodology when they want to understand brain function. So forget about marketing for a minute. Think about people trying to understand brain function professionally. Functional imaging has taken off enormously in psychology. There are lots of questions in psychology that people simply couldn't answer before neuroimaging came on the scene. Now they're able to ask those questions and probe emotional responses, executive decisions, choices, things like lying, all of these things that are difficult to access accurately by spoken report. So it's the fact that we can tap into the unconscious. Also, because of all this work in psychology and imaging, we now have a very, very good picture of which parts of the brain are involved in different tasks. And if you like, that's the step that's important. We are as good as the database. If the database is good, if we understand brain function, the more we understand brain function, the more we can tell people about product responses.
In some years, when we will be more far away with this, will we reach the moment that we can influence really the customer to buy our products with this kind of?
I think I don't look at this as being. I mean, I can't implant ideas in the brain. You know, my brain scanners won't allow me to actually say to someone, "Buy this product." The brain scanner will report what the customer is thinking, report it as accurately as we can possibly get. So the way that I look at this is I try to look at it in a positive sense. When you want to buy a car, you want to buy a good car. You want to buy the car that you want. The best way you're going to get that is for the people developing that car to understand as much as possible about your likes, dislikes, preferences. The way I look at neuroimaging and marketing and neuromarketing is that it's going to tell us more and more and more about what you would like to see in a car. So I think you should look at it in a positive sense in terms of informing us more rather than in this sense of big brother or mind control. At the moment, I can't do mind control. I don't want to do mind control and I can't. I cannot change your brain function. But what I can do is I can probably get a better idea of your brain function or what you would think about, for example, a new computer or a new car or a new shampoo or whatever, and new clothes, than maybe I could get just by asking you to tell you, do you like this, don't you like this, would you buy this, wouldn't you buy this?
Big customers are using at this moment your services,
I suppose the most important thing from the point of view of whether Neurosense, my agency, is working is that we have repeat clients. The fact that we have repeat clients means that people must believe it's been useful to them. And one of the companies, the work I've just been talking about, the sort of radio, TV advertising thing, this particular company has got something now called a neuromarketing planning module in their business. They actually just enter our results into their overall marketing planning strategy. So we've become part of their mainstream marketing strategy. So I think it's an answer to your question, Paul. The take-up generally will depend on how much utility people see in this. I think the limiting thing about imaging is we can't scan millions of people. We can scan probably dozens of people.
It's more expensive, no?
It's more expensive. No? So the logical thing is to focus this technique where it's going to have the most impact. In other words, I mean, for example, we heard a talk yesterday about using blogs constructively in marketing. For example, you want to find out what customers really think about your product. So you get people who are experts, who are high-profile bloggers, and you question them. Well, okay, why? if you've got a company blog site, one very nice idea might be to get some people who are very experienced in the field of blogging, get them to look at your company blog and actually scan them. In other words, you don't try and scan all the people who are going to read the blogs because you can't, but you could scan the movers and shakers. You could scan the people who are influential in blogging to see whether they believe you're getting at the right things. So I think you're into honing in this technique down to a small group of people who can give you valuable information.
You're from England, no?
I'm from England.
Which country is the most far away with this technology? Germans, Americans?
The Germans are using it a lot.
Yes.
The English are using it quite a bit. The Americans are using it. I think they're probably the three biggest markets at the moment.
So this kind of market, like Spain, we are now...
Spain, neuromarketing doesn't exist in Spain.
Doesn't exist. No. So it will be in some future.
The question is, will Spanish marketers feel it's useful or not? Okay, well, obviously not a lot of people do.
But when they see the results, when you begin to publish, or I don't know if you can publish these results or not, when they see the results...
A lot of our companies don't mind us publishing. Some of them do. We have one client who's interested in seeing whether people are lying or not, who, the nature of the client means they're not likely to want to publish, but
I understand.
that's understandable.
Okay, thank you very much.